Hey guys, Pitmaster here. How can hypoxia save your life? And what is hypoxia, by the way? Okay, hypoxia, which is spelled Hypoxia, okay? Hypoxia. All right, that's backwards, probably. I don't know. Whatever. You know what I mean. Hypoxia. Okay, hypoxia means low oxygen, okay? And it means just low oxygen in your body. Hypoxemia means low oxygen in your blood. But we're just talking about low oxygen in your body. Hypoxia. Now, how can that save you? Well, guess what? It can't if it's in your body, but it can save your life if it's in someone else's. And let me tell you how you give someone else hypoxia. If you give someone, first of all, why would you want to? Because they're trying to kill you and attack you, right? So you're defending yourself. You can either stop them two ways. One way, you can disconnect their electrical circuit in their brain, causing a concussion, lack of consciousness, right? So you're separating them from their consciousness that way. Or you take away their oxygen to the brain. And you can defend yourself that way because they're not going to be alive. And even before they're dead, they'll be unconscious. Like, you ever see anyone get choked out? That's hypoxia to the brain doing it. Cuts off the carotid arteries, which run one on each side, and they cut off both of them, one with their forearm and one with their bicep. And when it closes off, it's called a blood choke. And what it does is it stops the blood going to the brain, so the brain becomes hypoxic and it becomes unconscious. If you cut someone, right, in a fight, you cut them or you shoot them, they're going to lose so much blood, they're going to lose the thing that, the element that their blood carries that keeps you alive. There's a lot of things, but the main thing is oxygen. Your blood carries oxygen, right, in your hemoglobin, your blood, red blood cells, whatever. And without oxygen, you're going to die. But before you die, you become unconscious. Like, you choke someone out, you see them go to sleep in the UFC, then they stop. And then the guy wakes up, right? If the guy held that choke and then there's no blood, no oxygen to the brain, they're going to die. So the referee, stops them and they let go, or the guy taps or whatever. So the guy comes back to life. But if you choke someone long enough, and the brain needs oxygen. It needs a steady supply of oxygen. So if you take it away from the brain, they're going to first become unconscious, then they're going to die. So in a fight, right, life or death situation, you want to create a lack of consciousness on your attacker. You don't want him conscious anymore. That's the best way to stop the threat. We've already talked about that. And one of the best ways to cause them to be unconscious would be a lack of oxygen to the brain. And that's either by a choke, right, or a cut, and then they lose a lot of blood so they don't have enough oxygen to the brain. Okay. The other way, like I said, it's a whole different avenue, or a whole different pathway, is boom, it's a blunt force trauma to the head, and it shakes the electrical wiring loose, and they get concussed, and then they become unconscious. That's another way that you're going to save your life in a life or death situation. So it's either stop them from getting oxygen to the brain, and that would be either shoot them, cut them, or stab them, or choke them unconscious. That's one way, hypoxia. The other way is concussion, blunt force trauma to the head, and it renders them unconscious as well. All right, so that's what hypoxia is. That's what hypoxia is, and that's how it can be your friend. If you give it to someone else, all right? If you have any questions, comments, please either comment here, like and share this, and definitely email me if you have some specific questions. All right, guys, thanks for coming.